name is Wes Rodriguez.
And I'm Marin Flores.
And this is no longer a show.
Then that entails what?
Marin quit.
Wait a minute.
The show's over.
You make it sound like I'm the bad guy.
I know this goes up like post-production and after like hours and hours of processing and stuff, but I still feel like there's a sense of relief coming from the audience.
Wait a minute. Let's how do you say it? Let's reel it back a little bit.
Let's backpedal.
This show is we're actually taping on a Sunday, and so it's gonna be really it's gonna go out really quick, but it's a long time in the making. I don't know how to well, the only way to really explain it is we had some issues. Well, I had some issues actually, and
Marin's the type of guy to hold in his issues till they compound and they're no longer an issue. They become
oh, is that okay?
like a spiraling anger pit of despair.
All right, I'll take that in stride. But basically, what happened was yesterday morning, Wes called me, and no, wait. Let me back that up. My mistake. It went back and forth. The calls back and forth, and we're trying to set the show up, and to do it, and. In my infinite wisdom, I literally, this is exactly what happened. I called Wes, and I said, Wes, I'm not going to do the show anymore. And he was like, okay. And
see you later, bro.
And that was it. And it was done. And immediately after I hung up the phone, I realized how asinine it was. But I gave it a little while. And I had all intentions. I was going to call him back and just kind of, But he was the bigger person, and he called me first. And actually, the first call the first time he called me, I didn't answer. And so then it was like 10 minutes later, 20 minutes later, you called back.
I think it was like an hour.
Was it that long, really?
Yeah.
And
I like to, when I do the repeat phone call.
Right. With anybody.
After somebody rejects me.
Not just me.
I don't know why, but it has to be like an hour or like half-hour increments.
Right.
For some reason.
I know that.
I'm obsessive compulsive in that.
Yeah, no. You know what? I do that. I do the same thing.
But then I don't want to make it obvious. Like did he actually? It's on my log. Right. That it was actually an hour ago, and I'm thinking that they're gonna notice that, and that's weird in their head. So I try to go like a few minutes ahead or behind. Right.
No. You know what I do? And my girl, she told me that. Oh, you're such a stickler for time. I go, yeah, but that's the way I work. I have to be consistent. At least I try to be consistent with what I'm doing or whatnot. Anyway, an hour went by, I guess, and you called me back, and you said, listen, I don't care about the show. I mean, I want to keep it, but I don't want to have a resentment against you, and I want to keep you as a friend.
No, I said I don't want any resentments.
Right.
And you said, I don't have any resentments.
Right. Yeah. You're absolutely right.
I'm pretty sure I'm okay with my decisions.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. That's exactly what I said.
I'm like, no, it's not all about you, asshole.
Right.
I don't want to think you're an asshole.
And basically, you said, let's get together and let's talk this out. And so I said, okay. And so 20 minutes maybe went by, and I showed up here, and I came in, and I think you were shooting something, or you were playing something, right? You were playing a game.
I think I was racing again.
And so the conversation we didn't even go there to begin with. We didn't. It was like, okay, you know, we'll get to that. And I was totally relieved when you were like, well, you know what? I got to go get a printer. And I'm like, okay, because to be quite honest,
I planned that out.
No,
Marin.
but when
I knew you would be.
I had a lot of apprehension, you know, like I said, fuck, man, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to be like, fuck, man. Why do I even have to explain myself to this guy? Why? What the fuck? What? I don't fucking owe him nothing. You know what I mean? I had this, like, I already had this fucking armor fucking set. Like, I'm going to go in there and just tell him, you know what? I don't give a fuck. I quit. That's it. I'm done. I don't want to do it. And that's it. And
as people in recovery,
and I was set. I was set to do that. I had my fucking bullets ready. I was just like, look, whatever he fucking throws at me, I'm gonna fucking just throw it back and just say I don't want to do it. And then I came in here and it was like, you're like, hey, I'm gonna go get a fucking printer. I'm like, wait a minute, man. My fucking
game plan.
Wait a minute.
Game plan?
This didn't go according to what the fuck how it was supposed to go down. This isn't, you know. And so I was like, well, you know what? Just fucking roll with it, man. So we went, and it's so, you know what, the way the whole conversation came about, you know what I mean? It's like, I think we started off in the car. We're talking about something totally fucking different. And then you're like, okay, let's just hash this out, you know, well, what's going on, you know? And basically, I said that I felt like I wasn't being part of the show. You know, for like the last couple of weeks, it feels like I come in and I like do the fucking news and that's it. You know, and I don't feel like I don't know. I just felt like there wasn't a contribution on my half, and maybe that was, I didn't say this at the time, but you know, I'm saying now that a lot of that's my fault because I should have. You know, it's like you said. You know, if I have something to say, just fucking say it. You know, that's what our show's about. You know, and so. You know, the way you explained it, you know, I guess we've seen the show like two totally different ways. You know what I mean? And it's like when you explained it, like when you said, "Well, I see it as the show as a box, and we got to fill it," you know, before it like actually goes out, and. I never seen it like that. It's like I don't know if I was taking this show as serious as I should have, you know, or if I was putting more into it, or if I wasn't putting enough into it, you know. And then here I am, I'm fucking bitching and moaning that oh well, you don't give me enough to do, you know. And so you know, I thought about that, you know, and that was just like a big part of you know why. When you were telling me that, even when you were talking to me, like because we're Staples. Yeah, we're in Staples, and we're having this conversation in the tone. What the fuck is the printer section? We're having this conversation.
It was like that scene in Jerry Maguire.
Yeah,
where he's like, okay, you're fired.
Right, and
you should say something.
Right,
this is really happening.
And so,
except it's like, Marin, you're not going anywhere.
Right.
You're not leaving the show.
And it was, you know what? It was like, because I honestly and truly, I really felt like I felt like I didn't belong. That's how I really, you know, I felt like I didn't belong, you know? And for me, it's like, I don't know if it's habitual or not, but if I get bored with something, I just tend to move on, you know? And the thing about this show is, and that's what I realized is, I can't do that. I can't just stop doing it, you know? I mean, I have to at least put an effort into what we're doing, you know? And so, again, here we are in the, and it's
that brings up a point to me. One of the main pushes to do whatever I can to make this thing happen.
Right.
You're a few years older than I am.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure you've got enough experience in your life to back up what I'm going to say.
Okay.
There's probably plenty of things in our history that have pushed us into the recovery world where we've got failures in our lives, things that we regret, that you don't want to think about, and you just want to do whatever it takes to drown those things out.
Right.
I don't want this show to be like that. I want this show to be something that I work really hard to make it into whatever it can be, as best as it can be.
Yeah, for sure.
However mediocre it can be, I want it to be at the top of its mediocrity. I want to rise to anonymity.
Right.
But seriously, I don't want and this being a show that you put on the air and you talk to your friends about and you want people to tune in and listen to, it's a big slap in the face if you walk away from it. Because then people are like, well...
What the fuck happened?
You know? This is not something that you practice at home. It's not some hobby that you're like, okay, well, I got bored with it. This is something that people are paying attention to. Maybe fucking 15 people. You know? But people pay attention.
Dedicated. You know? A dedicated 15 people. Dedicated.
And we love you. We love you. So, that I don't want this... And that's another drive to make it work. Is it's a show. It's something that you're putting yourself out there. And I know that there was going to be a part of you that could relate to how I'm feeling about that. And I'm like, well, we'll talk to him, make sure that he's really, got his mindset. And let's look back. We didn't get a chance to do that, but yesterday I wanted to take a look back. And we're on show 9.
Yeah,
and we've done some pretty cool stuff, dude.
No, this is how it's like after we had talked and everything, I even thought about that. I said, fuck. I said, who the fuck are you, man? You go 9 shows in and you fucking sink? You're gonna fucking drop out after 9 fucking shows, 2 fucking months, and because you feel you're not a part of something, you're gonna be a fucking infant about it and walk away from it. I mean, come on, if you have, and again, I'm glad that we really like, and again, most of the conversation that we had and most of what we talked about was like in the store. You know what I mean? We talked, was what we had to say to each other, and that alone right there just showed me like, well, fuck, he doesn't give a fuck who fucking hears what he has to say. He's got something to say, he's gonna fucking say it. You know what I mean? And for me, I felt, I could see the sincerity, or however you want to put it, you know what I mean, behind what you were saying, you know what I mean? Because I wasn't, when you said what you said to me, I just, especially when you said, this is what really got me, and what really, it like made me revamp my whole thinking. He said, this isn't the Wes Rodriguez show. This is the Wes and M show. This is Wes and Marin. This is the show, And so you're a part of this, you know what I mean? So for you just to walk away like that, fucking, that's like, it doesn't make any sense, And I was like, well, that's when I started telling you, well, listen, I just don't feel like I'm part of the show, and then again too, you told me like, well, I guess you don't take you said something like, I see what you're doing more important than what you see what you're doing, I mean, there's a lot that comes to that, you know what I mean? But again, we're 9 episodes in, and it was just, to be quite honest, I think it was Monday. And you were talking about and this is an episode or a show that we're thinking about doing, and you were talking about, you says maybe that was part of what was in my thinking too. I don't know, but you said, well, I can't because we check in with each other on Monday, and then we do the shows on Saturday, and then so it gives us a whole week to prepare or whatever, And I think it was Monday, and you were talking about the whole girl thing, the whole female thing, and he said, and I said, okay.